Hey guys, it's Karina here with another video, and today I have my sister on my channel, Josee. She's here for another video, and today we're going to be talking about body positivity. But first off, I just want to say happy holidays and Merry Christmas if you celebrate it. Today we're wearing our Christmas gifts we got each other, so mine has sunflowers.
Mine says Blizzard Babe.
And it's a winter scene because I like sunflowers and you like winter. So yeah, that was our Christmas gift to each other. So today we're going to talk about some podcasts that I've watched about body positivity, and then we're going to do some interview questions and talk about our video that we posted in the summer called Bodies of Love. So God is Great and the Liturgists Podcasts do some really great podcasts about body image and body positivity. Specifically on the Liturgists Podcast, they have Evelyn Tribole come to talk, and she wrote the book Intuitive Eating, a Revolutionary Program that works is what it's called. And it's a recovery book for chronic dieters. It's a whole new way of eating and making peace with food. The book focuses on nurturing your body rather than on the biology of starvation, and encourages natural weight loss and helping you find your weight that you were meant to be. So she talks about the principle of health at every size and how there isn't just one size that is healthy or one weight that is healthy, and how it's different for different types of bodies. And I think this is something so true because often in society we're told that we're all one size fits all mentality and that we're all supposed to be this certain type of body, but maybe that's not the healthiest option for our types of bodies, because the fact is all of our bodies are different. So to say like this is the right way to be is making a simpler solution than what the solution is. So that is one of the really cool principles she talks about, and also this idea of intuitive eating. So this is the idea that you know yourself best and that we know our bodies best and that we should trust our bodies. And then she also talks about the pleasure of food and how food is something so enjoyable and brings people together, and how often in society and specifically in North America, we have lost that pleasure of food. It has become something that we've very much been consumed with this whole diet culture and eating certain foods so that we can be healthy and have the body that we desire. Which really does take the pleasure out of food, because then you're always thinking about, what am I eating? Is this healthy? Like, is this gonna make me gain weight? And you lost the, oh, this food is so good, and like, oh, I'm with people I love. Like, you just lose like the specialness of food. So yeah, both these podcasts really dive into this and how society's so consumed with weight and how we're all afraid of being overweight. And they also talk about the healthcare system, and since our society is so consumed with weight, so is the healthcare system. And I think this is an overgeneralization, but the healthcare system can be very quick to say that weight is an issue when it might not necessarily be the culprit or the problem in the equation. And also I think something we don't realize is, as patients, we are allowed to keep our weight confidential. When we go to the doctor office, often they ask if we want to be weighed, but you have the right to say no, and I don't think a lot of people realize this, right? So I think from these podcasts that I've listened to, the overall message is that we should really listen to our bodies and just be in tune with ourselves and trust ourselves when it comes to our bodies and being healthy. And being healthy will naturally come when we learn how to best listen to our bodies. We're going to talk a bit about our video that we made called Bodies of Love. Josee, what was the inspiration behind this video?
Yeah, so I wrote this video just as inspiration to really remind myself and remind others that our bodies are bodies of love. They're instruments of love, and that we should treat them with love, and that they're more than just our physical body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
and
sure.
And that they're beautiful.
Yeah, for sure. And what has your experience been with body image?
My experience with body image, in my teens, I didn't really notice my body as much. I was more I was smaller and more petite in my teen years. I had a bit of a faster metabolism, and my family used to comment on me a lot. And I kind of was just known as like, oh yeah, I'm just the petite little girl who doesn't gain any weight. And then when I turned 17, I started taking medication that made me gain a significant amount of weight. And then I had to go back on that medication for a few years after that. And so as I started becoming more of a woman, I guess, the weight gain just really just clashed with that, and I just kind of felt like I looked a bit disproportionate, and I started becoming very self-conscious of the way my body looked and the way I was starting to transition into a more womanly look, I guess, as well. And I just started to become more self-conscious in photos, and just if there were mirrors around or anything like that. And I just became a lot more critical of the way I looked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah, just to add on to that, I think in general, a lot of us are carefree when we're young, and then we get to the certain point of puberty, and that's kind of like where everyone's changing and everyone gets kind of insecure, and body image really starts to matter, and there's this pressure that's put on to us. And I think what's really beautiful in the video is that Josee really illustrates this. She talks about how, you know, when you were young, you know, you were carefree.
They kind of like, the media kind of freezes this like pubescent look of girls and kind of puts that on a pedestal.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I really wanted to highlight how, yeah, people just like freeze you in this box.
Yeah, and I think the video does like a really beautiful illustration of that, right? And I think that it's very relatable, and you kind of, you know, get to listen to your story through it, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to talk a bit about my experience with body image. So similar to Josee, like I would say, yeah, when I was young, I didn't really care. And then once I started to hit puberty, you get more insecure, especially when you're, you know, you have a bunch of acne and you're just going through all these changes. And I think as you go through school, it starts to matter more and people start to care more about what they look like. And you get very insecure. And I'd say, you know, in the grade 7 and 8 period, I was very insecure about my body. And yeah, throughout my journey, I've been insecure at certain times, and I've tried different diets. And I guess I did that because I did just want to be thinner. But what I found about the diets is that they were very restricting, and it felt very much like I was on a routine and I had to eat such and such thing. And on this diet I was on in particular, you had to like measure your food out and weigh it, and like it was very strict. So it really did take like the pleasure of food out of food, and you just lost the beauty and enjoyment of food because you were eating the same things over and over again. And I didn't really find it made much of a difference. Like, I don't know, I didn't think it really did much for me. So I think for me, what works best is trying to listen to my body. And obviously it's still a goal of mine to eat healthy and be healthy and be active. But I think that the best way to do that is to get in tune with your body and listening to your body. So yeah, now we're going to talk a bit about what our relationships are like now with our bodies. So I'll let you go first.
Yeah, my relationship with my body now kind of tends to fluctuate. There'll be times where I feel very comfortable and confident in my body, and there'll be other times where I feel very insecure. And it kind of, and I'll just go back to square one. And then, yeah, it just kind of goes in a cycle. And I guess I think that's just how it is. Sometimes your relationship with your body will be better than other times, and that's just the way that it naturally is. And it's just something that you have to keep working on with yourself and your body. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I'd say I'm in a pretty good place right now, but as Josee said, like it fluctuates, and it's a process. And I think one way we can work towards that is just really working on our self-care and our self-love for ourselves. the more that we have compassion for ourselves, the more I think it will improve our body positivity as well, and our images and views of ourselves. And one cool thing I've been doing recently is writing down something that I love about my body or something that I'm proud about of myself. I'll write it down in my journal, and it's a really great way to just practice loving myself and doing that. Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to talk a bit about the brand Ahri and why we love it so much. So
Yeah.
I'll let you talk about it.
So Ahri is one of my favorite brands. I kind of fell in love with it just because of they hire models of like all different types of body types, or anyone, or all kinds of people with all kinds of different disabilities and such. Even people with like prosthetic legs and stuff like that. And not even just models, like just regular girls they'll hire.
Like anyone can apply to be an Ahri model.
Anyone can apply. I almost tried applying once. But I just love how they're just so relatable, and they're just regular girls, and it really helped to like follow the Instagram and see girls just like me, and just like other girls, and they do like natural Ahri photo shoots, so they'll be all natural and everything, and it's just really encouraging to see regular girls, and they have an element of where they get to share their stories and share their own personal journeys with their buddies, and it's just really inspiring, and it feels really good to hear girls share similar stories that you have.
And their clothes are really great too. Like they really offer a wide variety of clothes for girls with different types of bodies, and they offer a lot of comfy clothes. So it's really great, the variety that they have.
This shirt is from Ahri.
Yes. And something cool as well is in their dressing rooms, when you go to the store, they have like sticky notes on the mirror that say like you're beautiful and like your body's awesome and stuff like that. So it's really cute. So I think it's really cool that there's a brand out there that's like that, and I hope that more brands will become like that, because I feel like a lot of places only offer so many sizes, and they really stigmatize like people who are plus sizes or bigger than the average size. So I think that it'd be nice if more brands start to do that. And I think slowly they are. There's more varieties of models in different brands and stores. All right, so our last question is, what advice would you give to others about body image and their body positivity journey? Yeah, so I'll go first, or do you want to go first?
Well, I'd say to take lots of photos, even when you're not feeling good that day. I know for me, I never wanted to be that person to not take a photo. But I know I'd become really overly critical when I saw them later. But I just encourage that you want to have those photos for those moments. Like you want to be able to look back on times, and it's more than, it's about the experience that you're capturing, right? And nobody's paying attention to all the things that you're being critical about. So.
For sure. Yeah, I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give is that it is a process, and it's going to take time for you to get to a good place. And even if you do get to a good place, you can easily go back to a bad place. It's fluctuating, as we've talked about. And I think that it can be hard to remember this. In the media, I think that body positivity is really coming out, which is great. But it also can appear like it's this easy thing. Like all these women just, flipped a switch and now they can show off their bodies on the internet, and they think that, it's like, we start to think that it's this easy transition just to be body positive, and it's not going to be an easy transition. And yeah, as we've mentioned, it's kind of fluctuating. And ways to get in tune with your body, I think, is the biggest thing, is like journaling can really help you like be in tune with your body. Also just like really practicing self-care, and just finding ways to get centered, like by doing meditation or yoga, and just trying to really like center yourself and listen to what your body needs and wants. And I think that all takes practice and time, and it will, yeah, take time until you get to that point. All right, well, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you liked this video. Please put any questions that you have in the description box below, and like and subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video. And I hope you guys have a lovely week. And now that you're awesome, and Happy New Year. Okay, bye.